Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and it's back. The Premier League, the most competitive league in the world. And as I say, it's back. We're just going to dip our toe in the water because there's 2 games to catch up on. I've got my normal guests. I've got Matt Lawrence. I've got Martin Green. But before that, a little bit of housekeeping. But as we're only having the 2, just please subscribe, press the button, and press the thumbs up to show your appreciation. And we will notify you of all content. Also, you can press the link in the description and then you'll go across to all the articles for this week's Premier League fixtures. Matt, I'm going to come to you first. It's back.
It's back. Sport is back. The best league in the world returns. Liverpool have waited 30 years now to hoist this title, and it looks like it's going to happen now. 14 weeks it's been since we last were on the show, and I'm so excited. I'm at a loss for words almost.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool winning the league thoroughly deserve, to be fair to them. What do you expect? What do you expect from the games that we're going to be seeing? Do you think the intensity that we always see week in, week out in every single game is still going to be there?
Well, Flash, we have a proper relegation battle and a proper top 4, maybe top 5 race. So I expect there to be intensity throughout. I think we've seen, in the Bundesliga these past few weeks, some of these matches, where teams, they're really not fighting for anything. It's been kind of boring a bit, but there's so much to play for here, and it's going to be bonkers.
Martin, a Premier League game without intensity, it's never been known. So this is going to be a real test for some of the players, especially those, I would say, in mid-table mediocrity, but there's such a lot to play for that no one's really mid-table. And also, when I look at some of these sides that are 6th, 7th, 8th from bottom, they were desperate to have this league voided so that they could then get on and start one afresh in August. But now, who's going to go down apart from Norwich is anyone's guess.
Yeah, it's just fascinating. There's so much left to play for this season. The race for the top 4 is going to be thrilling. So many teams in the mix. Even down to like Arsenal in 9th and Leicester in 3rd could still get sucked down into it. The relegation battle looks ferocious. Obviously, we're about to talk about Aston Villa, who have a game in hand. 3 teams above them, all on 27 points. Brighton haven't won a game all season, so we're in for a really heated relegation battle there. I don't think it's going to have as much of an impact, really, the lack of fans, as you'd maybe see in the Bundesliga, because I just think the atmosphere inside grounds in the Premier League has been diminished increasingly over the years anyway. A lot of the stadiums, like the Emirates and West Ham's London Stadium, they're getting increasingly corporate. The players still manage to deliver a lot of intensity in the pace of the game, despite not having an enormous atmosphere inside the stadium. So, yeah, I think we'll be in for some really, really entertaining games, so much to play for, and it's going to be fascinating.
Let's crack on with this first game, because if you're Aston Villa and you had all these home games, you would desperately be wanting a crowd. I can tell you that, because the one team you wouldn't want to be playing first up is, I don't care if I'm playing home or away, Sheffield United. Intensity, togetherness, great attitude, and they're going to go to Villa Park. So it's Aston Villa plus 240, draw plus 240, Sheffield United plus 135, Matt.
Yeah, John McGinn returns for Aston Villa here. That'll be a big boost for their squad. I looked at some of the film between these two teams the first time around, and, Tyrone Mings missed that matchup at Bramall Lane. And, coming off of this break, Villa were, this was a perfect break for them, really. They had lost, I believe, 5 in a row, and Sheffield were in an amazing form heading into coronavirus. So for me, I think that this break definitely benefited Villa. I'm interested in Villa at a plus a quarter of a goal head start here at home. I know that you mentioned that, Flash. They have such a big crowd and big fan base there, and the supporters get behind them immensely. This is such a big match for them. I expect them to be ready to go here. I don't see a ton of difference in quality with these two sides. So I'm going to just stick my leg out here, and I'm going to go with Villa plus a quarter of a goal. I could see this being a draw.
Yeah, I agree. I think worst case scenario, it's a draw. I don't see Villa winning it, Martin. I think all the value is on Sheffield United and the draw.
Yeah, it's such a huge game for Aston Villa that it would be tempting to bet on them. Yeah, it's going to be great that they're getting John McGinn back. We know how good Jack Grealish is. They still haven't made a decision yet on whether Tom Heaton and Wesley can actually come back into the squad and play. Still left hanging on that one, which is strange. But yeah, I just think, Sheffield United took 4 points off Aston Villa in the Championship last season, beat them earlier this season. It's a terrible fixture for Aston Villa. They've got just as much to play for, really, Sheffield United. They've got a game in hand. If they win this, they go up to 5th, 2 points behind Chelsea, which is huge. Chris Wilder's really going to get them fired up. So yeah, I totally agree with you, Flash. I'm looking at the draw no bet for Sheffield United. 1.62. It's not huge odds. You could maybe combine it if you wanted to with like a say draw double chance for Sheffield United and maybe under 3.5 goals if you want a bit more value. So I don't think this is going to be a particularly high scoring game. But yeah, I would play it reasonably cautious in the first round of fixtures anyway with stakes. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, I think this was the game. You say not many goals, and I do agree with you on this account. But I think, was it not 3-3 last year in the Championship when I think Sheffield United were 3-0 up and Villa scored 3 late goals, and it was just an absolutely crazy game. But I don't see Sheffield United getting beat, so you just try and work it out. Yeah, Sheffield United double chance, under 3.5 goals. I just can't have Villa. I just cannot have them. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a draw. Now, I'm going to come to you, Martin, because this is your team. Man City minus 267, draw plus 375, Arsenal plus 750. Now, I talked about Barcelona before on a different show, saying if you're going to play a practice game, the last team you'd want to probably play is Barcelona. Now, can we say the same about Arsenal? Arsenal overpriced at plus 750. I think both teams score.
I think both teams score as well. Yeah, we mentioned that this was a terrible time for for Sheffield United with the break. It really derailed their momentum. Arsenal were also in great form before the break. They'd won 3 or 4 Premier League games in a row. Man City had just lost the Manchester derby against Man United. This would potentially be a game that Arsenal could go and get a result in. It's going to be fascinating to see. We've got a terrible, terrible record against Man City. They've won their last 5 games against Arsenal comfortably, absolutely demolished them in the League Cup final 2 seasons ago. So all the historical data points to a comfortable Man City win. It's just that Mikel Arteta's a bit of a differing factor in this game. He obviously spent all that time with this Man City squad. He's got to have a few tricks up his sleeve. He's got to really prepare his players. It's going to be a really big showdown for him against his mentor, Pep Guardiola. So I don't think there'll be a problem with motivation for the Arsenal team. But we just know how bad their defensive frailties are. Man City have got a lot of quality attacking players that they can bring on in the second half. See them scoring at least twice. Whether Arsenal can score twice, not too sure. But yeah, so I'd be looking at either Man City to win and over 2.5 goals at 1.73, or perhaps just the straight up Alex classic of both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. That's 1.8.
I'm going to go to Matt, but before I do, Martin, can you have a little look and see what Arsenal are, plus 1.5, and then come back to me, please, at the end? Matt, I think that Arsenal and Man City, they match up great here. No crowd. Practice game, talent all over the pitch.
I agree. I think that Martin pointed to some of the struggles that Arsenal have had against City in the past. It looks like this is the best opportunity for Arsenal to really get after City after this long layover. I like both teams to score in over 2.5 here. I found that at 1.8, like Martin said, and I do see Arsenal giving City fits a little bit. I can see Aubameyang and Lacazette linking up, maybe on the counter attack at some point and scoring a goal against City. And I think that City will for sure score against Arsenal. So I think that this one pushes over the 2.5. It's Alex Classic written all over it for me.
Yeah, and the other thing is with Arsenal, they were starting to put it together. Obviously, the leaky defence. But the thing is, they've also with Man City, they weren't actually blowing sides away. And that crowd, no crowd, Arsenal going there, it turns into like a practice match. If you have the ball, we have the ball, then it could be really, really entertaining. Have you found that price for me, Martin?
Yeah, 1.98.
1.98. See, I like that. I think if Arsenal get beat, they don't get beat by more than 2 goals. So I would be happy to take Arsenal plus 1.5 at so it can be like minus 102, 1.98. Okay, so just to let everyone know that at home that we will be back on Thursday at 10:30 Eastern time when we have the full card. We'll go with the games. There's 2 games on Friday, so we'll have games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we will cover the Monday night game. And then obviously next Monday we will start again. So it's going to come thick and fast. So enjoy these games, boys, and I will see you on Thursday. I just want entertainment,
Thanks,
I want goals, and I want us to start with a couple of winning tips. So cheers, Matt. Cheers, Martin.
Thanks, Flash.
So you make sure you see us on Thursday, 10:30 Eastern time, the full card of Premier League punters. These 2 games were just to dip your toe in the water. On Thursday, it's goggles on, swimming cap on. Let's get going. See you soon.